I will win this championship. My boat will leave all the boats behind.
I am sure of that. Have you checked the boat?
Check? Check for what?
That it does not have any holes.
No, it does not have holes. But why should I check that?
If the boat has holes, it will sink in the river. Only if it doesn't have any holes, it will float.
See, it floats. See, my boat crossed the finish line first.
Yes, now let's pick up our boat and go home. Careful, don't drop the keys in the water.
Don't worry, I will pick up the keys as they float in the water.
But the keys will not float on water. They will sink.
Now you confused me. Some things float and others sink in water.
Yes, let's go home and I will explain it to you.
We were talking about things floating and sinking in water.
When we put something in water, it will either float on the surface of water or sink to the bottom of the water.
Like my boat floats in water and keys sink in water.
Yes, let's do an experiment to find out more about sinking and floating.
Oh, cool! I love experiments. Let me wear my scientist apron.
I will bring a tub of water and you bring the things which we will put in water and
see if they float or sink.
Why don't you collect your things and we will do the experiment together? Wow, you look like a real scientist.
Yes, that's because I am a scientist.
So scientist here with me and all you scientists watching, let's start the experiment.
I will first try to put this yellow duck of my bathtub in the water.
What do you think, people? Will it float or sink?
Well, my guess is it will float.
Now I will put this spoon in water.
It should float. No, sink. No, float.
Let's put it and see.
Oh, it sinks.
Yes, it does sink to the bottom. Let's try again.
It sinks again. So we could conclude that spoon sinks in water.
What about this rock?
It will sink, I guess.
Yes, it sinks.
And my tennis ball?
It should float.
Oh, yes, it floats.
And your cricket ball? See, it sinks.
So now we have seen what floats and what sinks. But why do some things float and others sink?
To understand that, you should first know what happens when we put something in water.
What happens? It either sinks or floats.
Yes, sinking or floating is the result.
Oh, do you mean the reason?
Hmm.
But why do some things float and others sink?
To understand that, you should first know what happens when we put something in water.
What happens? It either sinks or floats.
Yes, sinking or floating is the result.
Oh, do you mean the reason?
Mm-hmm.